This weather that's in Tampa is just unreal right now. It's just cool and breezy, and
No, I love it.
yeah.
Got my 11 miles biking in today, so
Awesome.
yes. I try to do it.
I was at Gretchen and Jessica's gym 3 times this week. So
Oh, yeah?
I'm excited. Yeah.
I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
I don't hear anybody else.
Okay, we can start.
Ready? All right. Well, thank you everybody for jumping on tonight, our Zoom. I love doing this with our other elites, and it's been a lot of fun. We get to hear for some great people. Tonight I've got Kacie Graves, a Pro 8 in this company, along with her husband, Fred, Pro 9. They're leaders in this company. I got to be friends. They've helped me both tremendously in growing my business in the company, and I really appreciate everything they do. I know, Kacie, you've got another call to do right after this one, so I don't think we're going to have time to have questions and answers, but love to hear about you and you know, how you got introduced to LifeVantage. What were your first thoughts, I think? And then tell us a little bit about your background and yourself.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on the call. I love sharing stories. That's what it's all about in life in general, right? Is just being able to connect with people and share stories and things. So thank you for having me on the call. My name is Kacie Graves. I am actually from Plant City, Florida. Grew up in Seffner. And my background was a lot of things. I had like 17 jobs by the time I was 26 or 7, I think it was, just because I never liked staying in one place for a long time. So I have done banking. I worked at gyms. I went to school for dental assisting and worked at an ambulance services dispatch. Like I had all kinds of different, I've done door-to-door sales and all kinds of stuff. So in 2009, I had recently been divorced, and I was dating a guy who had also recently been divorced, and we had both just lost everything that we owned, everything. Like my car had just been repossessed from the front yard, like maybe 3 weeks before we found out about LifeVantage. And he calls me and he's like, get all of our money together because we're enrolling with this LifeVantage thing. And I'm like, are you serious? Because I, first of all, don't know anyone who's ever been successful in network marketing in my life. I know people who have done it and they've had extra jobs, and I never knew anybody who ever was successful at it. And we have $1,200 in our bank account. And he said, if we don't change something, our life is never going to change. So I started crying as soon as that whole conversation happened. I called my mom and I was freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to take me to the cleaners just like my ex-husband. And the economy is crap, right? So we're just kind of like trying to figure out what's happening. And he did. He enrolled with the LifeVantage thing, and he left us with $200 in our bank account, $200 in our bank account. And we had rent due that was $300 the next month. And he seriously probably called maybe 50 people the very first night that we enrolled. We enrolled, and he was calling people until 1 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, babe, you gotta stop because people need to sleep. And he's like, people are losing their houses every night of the hour. What are you talking about? And he was just like ignorance on fire, called every single person because he had never seen an opportunity this big. And his background was that he had made his first $1 million by the time he was 24, but yet he lost it all at 27 because the economy shifted. So here we are, starting off. Out of those 50 people, a couple people enrolled. A couple people said yes. I think that a couple of them was really just to support us as being our friends, because they knew that we were flat broke and that we were obviously trying to do something different to change our situation. And he made our money back the first week. He doubled our money in 2 weeks, and then he enrolled me because we were only dating at the time. And his little joke now is that he married me because of the matching bonus. So that's kind of funny. So with that, we just seriously figured out how to start helping a lot of people do the same thing that we were doing so that they could start to also feel better and have more money, right? So with that being said, it was really, really hard. I remember like our life was LifeVantage. That's all that we did. We enrolled in November of 2009. We got engaged in December. We got married in February, and then I was pregnant in May. And he had a daughter who was living in Louisiana at the time. And so it was just like life changed so much and so many things in life. We didn't even go on a honeymoon. Okay. So I told you our story of how we first enrolled, but so that was February 13th. February 27th was the very first Elite Academy. And everybody said that you have to go to these Elite Academy things and you stick to the system and you stay plugged in and you never miss a corporate event. Well, we didn't get to go on a honeymoon. We did. We went to an Elite Academy in Salt Lake City, Utah, and we shared a room with his sister and brother-in-law. So that's who actually had told us about it. That is who they called us over, just like many of you have experienced the same thing. Like, here, watch this video. Back then it was the ABC primetime video. It caught our interest. I remember just thinking, like, this is really not possible. I don't think that this is ever really going to happen, because I grew up in a household where it was crazy. There was a lot of craziness going on. There wasn't anybody telling me that you could do anything that you want and that, you know, life is amazing. And it was just very, very, very crazy, different type of lifestyle than Fred grew up in, right? Fred grew up in the dad who told him he could do anything and that he was awesome and all these things. So, so with that, Fred built our business. I always stood by his side. I went to all the events with him, but I was scared to death to talk to people. It's really funny that I'm sitting here on a Zoom right now, because I just remember the transition that it took for me to get to where I finally wanted to be. And really, it just came down to the sacrifice that you are willing to do, and other people see you go through the sweat and tears, and they really start to believe in you. And so, I don't know. So I'll just take you through a little timeline really quick, because I think it's very important for people to understand what can be possible if you really truly believe it. And Fred, when he enrolled, when he said, this is the biggest opportunity I've ever seen in my life, that was a big deal. But your belief in what you have your hands on can make you or break you. So allow it to make you, allow it to, I'm going to go back to his story and in our story. So I watch him reading the paper, like our very first premiere school, and he had every single thing written down on a piece of paper, and he stood up in front of the podium and he didn't say any of it, but it was just those little growth things that you have to go through that you may think seem silly, or the next person that is, you know, a different rank than you, they never had to do that. It doesn't matter. This is your journey. This is your opportunity. You do what you want to with it, and you do whatever it takes to position yourself in front of whatever you want to do. So for Fred, we enrolled in November of 2009. I remember, I think we were like 6 months in, and he didn't say that he wanted to quit, but I knew that he was getting very frustrated because our residual, I'm not really supposed to say that word, I guess, I don't know, but our monthly check that kept coming in was not even $1,000. And yeah, we were making money through enrolling people, but I know a lot of you will understand what I'm saying. But before we even hit that $1,000 residual mark, Fred was getting pretty frustrated. You guys, I'm in our motorhome, and the washing machine is going right now. If you hear some, like, the rocking and stuff, is the washing machine. So 16 months in of every single day talking to people, three-way phone calls, going to every single event, every Elite Academy, every Premier School, all of these things. 16 months in, our check hit $10,000 a month. So 6 months in, it wasn't even at 1,000, and he was very frustrated. And by the time we were 16 months in, that check that came on the 15th every month was $10,000. And by the time I think we were 28 months in, it hit $55,000 in a month. And to me, that it was so crazy that I remember, like, we were going to take our second baby, because I like popped babies out one after another after I started taking Protein, which that's my testimonial story. But I remember looking at Fred thinking, like, I feel like we're doing something illegal, because this just doesn't seem right that you can make this much money. But then you hear all the testimonials and all of the people whose lives are changed, and these treatments are being canceled, and they're off of this medication, and this is going on. All these things are going on, and they're saving their house, and they're spending their time with their wife, and they get to take their kids to school, and all of those things. And it just, so that, I mean, that's the reality. That's what happened with Fred and I's story. So it's so crazy. Like, my kids have never experienced parents who have to leave and, like, go to work. Right. And so just know, everybody is in this for a different reason. I wholeheartedly feel like LifeVantage is the biggest the most amazing thing with the most incredible products and the most incredible people. And I feel like that because I've been to a lot of network marketing events and I've met teams and leaders from all kinds of different companies. And they like when they see the culture that we have here at LifeVantage, it's different. It's very special. It's very unique. So Fred and I have always been stay-at-home parents. We've always been full-time parents. We wake up when we want. We go to lunch when we want. We sleep when we want. And the really cool part is that everybody has that opportunity if you just stick to the system and you stay plugged in and you never miss a corporate event. And I wholeheartedly feel like that sacrifice, that drive, that focus will take you places, and you will make relationships with people that you never ever would have thought were possible, like being friends with you, Dr. Lucia. Like Fred and I love you. Our kids love Dr. Lucia and Mayor Stella. Like we love you guys. You're part of our family. And I don't know, like it really, it's so crazy when I think about the timing though too. I just wanted to say this too. Back in 2009 was when the economy was very different. And in 2021, the economy is really different. And people have lost jobs just like they did in 2009. And if you really just take yourself out of it and you call every single person and don't freaking care what their answer is, and you offer them the opportunity and some products that are going to change their stinking life, you're going to make money and you're going to find yourself in a spot that you never would be able to do in a traditional business. And I know that because I've done traditional business. I owned a Quiznos sub shop. I didn't talk to you about that. But there's all kinds of things that you can do. And sometimes when you just sacrifice a little bit more towards doing something that's going to give you the big end result, it changes things. Even when you think that you're kind of scared. Like I remember when we were still doing car interiors, when Fred and I first were dating and first enrolled with LifeVantage, and there was a cash job that we ended up giving up in Sebring. And it was, I mean, we made a couple $1,000s that day on the Wednesdays that we would drive out there. But he was like, I feel like if we just give up that Wednesday, that we really can put so much more time into LifeVantage. And we did, and it worked. So yeah, I do have another meeting that I need to get to, but I thank you so much for having me on. If you have like 2 or 3 questions, I can answer those really quick. Does that sound good?
Sure. Thank you, Kacie. And thank you for sharing your story. That always inspires me.
You're very, very welcome.
And I don't know, do we have questions from anyone? I don't want to keep you. I know you've got another call. No?
Good.
Good. Well, thank you, Kacie. And I will see you both, I guess, Friday. We'll see you.
Yes, you will. I'm so excited.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you guys. Have a great
Bye-bye.
night. Thank you again for having me on. We appreciate you guys so much.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
And I must say, a big part of this company and what I've found is we made so many great friends that I would never have made. You know, it's great. I was always pretty personal, and I really wasn't outgoing, and what really didn't go at any place where I didn't know people. Now I look for those opportunities to meet new people. So it's a lot of fun to do. One thing I did tell somebody the other day, and I just wanted to share this real quick before we get off. I had a relatively new distributor come in, and she's really not doing anything. She's discouraged. She goes, I just don't know what to say to people. I said, look, pretend like you just opened a new restaurant. Wouldn't you go to all your friends and say, hey, could you support me by coming to my restaurant? Tell them you just got into a new business. Could you please support me by taking a look at it and trying the products? It's very simple. Keep it as simple as possible. And when she started doing that, she finally started getting some success. So I think we overcomplicate this sometimes. So anyway, anybody else? Anything else?
Don't be shy, you guys.
I'll answer questions. I don't care.
My goodness, you guys are so silent right now.
Well, we got extra time tonight that we didn't have last week.
Hi, Dr. DeLucia.
Yes.
Hi, this is Angela Bates from Salem, Ohio. I just have a question. how
Sure.
do you approach a doctor that treating you?
How do you approach them? First of all, I grew up near Salem, Ohio, so I know exactly where it is.
Okay.
And not very far from where I grew up, as a matter of fact. How do you approach the doctor?
Yes.
I think to get his attention, what I would suggest, again, depends on how close you are to the doctor, how much, but I used to be approached all the time by people. Hey, I found this cured my Aunt Tilly of rheumatism, or, I mixed this up in my bathtub and I wanted you to try. I used to get those things all the time. Typically it would go right into the round file. I just didn't have time. I was busy. I just didn't have time to look at all those things. And some of them may have been legitimate, but I don't know, you really didn't take the patient very seriously. If I saw changes in their health and they told me, yeah, I was taking this, or this really helped me tremendously, and I saw numbers change in their, whatever it might be, their blood pressure, their diabetes, whatever, I might take a closer look. But typically what I do, even now when I approach a medical professional, I typically will take that Washington State study and I have it highlighted, and I make them turn to page 11 and read that. That it says that this is, possibly the biggest breakthrough in the history of medicine. That typically gets their attention. And if I hand them that highlighted study and tell them I want to send them some more information, yeah, they usually will look at it then. And after having said that, the typical doctor is not the best network marketer. So I know everybody wants to get their doctor, but they're not the best network marketers. So I didn't know anything about it. I just saw, like Kacie, I saw a product, first of all, and a breakthrough product that I wanted to be part of. And only secondarily through Fred Graves showed me the business end of it. And when I saw it, I thought, wow, this is quite a business opportunity and a business model that I didn't know anything about. So that's really what it is. And so if you can catch the doctor's attention, I believe we're attracted more to science than anything. So if you could show them something like that, or maybe even our first study, and highlight that it lowers oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, and then ask them if you could send them more. Ask them for an email where you can send them some more information, and then send them whatever, ABC News, whatever you want to send them. I think that's the best approach. Otherwise, your likelihood of them looking at something is slim, to say the least.
Well, the reason why I ask you that question is because I'm really not, like go to the office and say, I have something for you. No, I don't do that to my doctors because, it's kind of awkward. So, but anyway, the reason why I ask you, because the doctor that I'm seeing for my radiation, they were recommending some product that I can put, like their cream, but since we just got our new product, the body butter and the lotion, and I have friends that they've been using that for their skin, and they're they have good results, and I also have good results. So I'm using that also for, like that, my skin. So they asked me to bring the product. So I
Good.
showed them, and then they were like, where'd you get these? Or how, like this works, but they can't believe how whenever they looked at the skin that getting the radiation treatment, they said it's amazing how the skin looks. So that's why
That's good.
I told them that I'm using this product.
Sure. And show
Yeah.
a little bit of the science behind it. I think if you do that, they're a lot more likely to look and to want to know more. And that's the idea. You want to build that curiosity to the point where they're willing to look. That's what Brian Surley did to me. And actually, Brian and Fred came in with their laptop and said, we just want you to watch this video, and show me the ABC video. It was enough to really get my curiosity up. And that's when I went home and started looking at what it was and how it worked, and read through the patent and everything that they had available at the time, which wasn't a lot, but it was something to get my interest up. And I went the following week and signed up. I said, I want the products. That's all I was concerned about. So I signed up the following week just to get the products. And I did go to their meeting. They invited me to a meeting, which they had once a week. We had a live meeting, and I went. And, you know, I was curious. I sat in the back of the room. Brandon Cunningham told me later they're poking each other. Ooh, we got a doctor. He's sitting in the room. I didn't know that. But yeah, it grew from there. And then I finally gradually listened to more. And I learned more a little bit every day. And when I finally looked at the business opportunity, I thought, wow, this is unique. And this could be retirement. That's really what I saw. So, and it was. So yeah, I think it's great, but show them science. Show them science. I think that's the biggest thing that you'll get their curiosity up. Oops, I can't hear you.
You're muted.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Dr. DeLucia.
Okay.
I
All
really
right.
appreciate it.
And
Thank
listen,
you.
I'm going to be up there this summer, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Where-
wow.
Wow, that's-
My hometown is outside of Warren, Ohio. So I went to school there. And
When exactly,
Warren.
Dr. Jean?
what's that?
When are you
Yeah,
going there?
Probably sometime this summer. We really haven't set a date.
Okay.
I think Ohio.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there on June
11
10, 11.
10, 11,
12.
12, 13.
to 13.
Ours
Yeah.
is like going to be August, I would imagine.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Jean, let us know.
Let us
Okay.
know.
I'll do
Yeah.
that.
They will cook you Filipino food.
There you go. Sounds good to
They
me.
will fatten you up. No.
Very good.
Okay.
Anything else?
Is there any plan on mixing up some products with CBD oil or something like that?
Well, our new products do have CBD, the new skincare. As far as
Oh.
internally, I don't know. I haven't heard anything, but then they tend to keep all of us in the dark about new products.
Oh,
Don't know
nothing
what to know.
internally yet.
Because it's a publicly traded company, they can't be making announcements on things they're just thinking about. So yeah, they're a little bit tight-lipped on that. Maybe Kai has some inside information. I don't know.
Anything, Kai?
Or Vandy.
No.
They don't tell us anything ahead of time.
But the personal care products, there's
Yeah,
CBD
they have
in it.
CBD in it.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
it's a unique combination, very unique combination. So.
Right. So when you get high, don't blame me. I'm just kidding.
You know, if you can get that lit. I don't know.
That's why they say feel good from head up from what? From
From head to toe.
Head to
to
soul.
soul. To soul.
soul.
See? CBD.
Very good.
Okay, doc.
Other people that sell CBD, they really show that they have tested it, that the amount of THC is really very low, and that when you get caught with it, you won't be arrested.
The difference between CBD and THC, CBD is the medicinal part and THC is the psychoactive part. So a lot of these are, the hemp plants, there's no real THC in it. So yeah, we legally can sell it. THC, you have to have a license for.
Great info. Thank you, doc.
I heard that the police could hardly even tell if one is just total hemp or marijuana. So sometimes they couldn't tell. So, and there was a lab that was testing it wrong, and then people got arrested for having THC, but because the lab that was testing it had data that were difficult and mistakenly inputted, so a lot of the people that were arrested for having THC had to be forgiven or let, not anymore criminally prosecuted.
Well, I think with this, our federal people now in power, I'm pretty sure that it's all going to be legalized federally. So they need the money, they need the tax dollars. Anything else? Well, good timing. It's 9 o'clock. Jump on the next Zoom. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all for listening. This was a good one. Love Kacie Graves. She's great. The story
Absolutely.
is very inspiring.
Great story.
Very, very inspiring. So,
Yeah.
and
So
I
you
can tell you
guys.
a story when they first started. I brought my girlfriend at the time and her sister to a meeting because I wanted them to see what it was and join me as business partners. And Fred was up there talking, and I can say none of us are good when we start. And we walked out of the meeting, and they both go, "Is that the best representative they can find for the company?" I
Really?
said, "Look, it shows you anybody can do this."
Anybody can do this. Flat broke, you guys. Flat broke.
And look how much, well, look at him now. I mean, what a difference. What a difference. Great spokesman for the company. But
My
we
gosh.
were all there at one time.
What a great success.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Doc, for bringing in Kacie.
Thank you.
Until the next, and at 8:30, you guys, LV app. You want to learn about the new features. Oh my goodness. I was with Kamal for 10 minutes. I was spinning, my head's spinning because I really want to hear from him tonight. 8:30 Central Time. See you, folks.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you.
Good night. Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
Good night.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Jean,
everybody.
Bundy,
Good night,
and
everybody.
Kai.
Thank
Good
you.
night. Thank you.
Ciao.